Good afternoon. I'm Deborah Backus, the Senior Director of Global Impact at an organization called Worldreader, and I'm joined here by Gour Lentell, the CEO of Datafree. At Worldreader, we believe that readers build a better world, but we know in many low-resource communities around the world that children lack access to the books and resources they need to develop as readers. In fact, we know about 400 million children around the world are missing basic literacy skills. Those are skills that we all rely on here at Devex World to achieve the outcomes that we're working towards. We need children to be readers in order to achieve those outcomes. We know that to get children reading at Worldreader, the answer is digital. And that's why we offer a digital reading solution, BookSmart. And we work with partners to support families in reading with their children. In fact, you can scan that QR code and have access to our reading solution. At Worldreader, we're often asked if digital reading is viable for the families we're seeking to serve in low-resource communities and middle-income countries and low-income countries across the global south. Well, we think the answer is yes. According to the GSMA, over 5 billion people around the world have access to mobile phones, or there's 5 billion unique mobile phone subscribers. And if you think about the fact that families are often sharing phones, that means that over 70% of the world is having access to mobile technology. But access to a mobile phone is not enough. Families need mobile data. But data is costly, and it's a valuable resource, so families have to make decisions every day around how to use that data. Are they going to use that data to WhatsApp family members, to connect with friends, to read the newspaper, to check the weather as a farmer? They have to make those choices, because in about 75% of those mobile phone subscribers, they're prepaid mobile phone plans, so they're paying for that data and it runs out. I think many of us here, we have kind of endless calls. We pay each month, but that's not the case for 75% of phone users. We know that this data scarcity is a barrier to getting families to read on their phones and also access other critical services on their phone. So you may be thinking the solution is give more data, give data to people. Let's just give families more data. But Gour is going to tell you a different approach called Datafree.
Hi, everyone. I've come a long way from Cape Town, South Africa, to be here today. I'm very happy. How many of you know what a 1-800 phone number is? You all do, of course. Back in the days of landlines, when long-distance calling was expensive, many companies offered toll-free calling so that customers could connect or call without incurring charges. Today, the need for that in a developed market like here has fallen away and not many people use it. The numbers still exist, but the need is reduced. Well, Datafree is a similar concept. Toll-free data, not instead of or as well as toll-free calling. We're a technology company founded in Sydney, Australia originally, but operating currently in South Africa. And we make apps and websites, online services, data-free, meaning there is no data cost incurred by a user to connect to a data-free service, because the provider of the service is paying the cost instead of the end user. We've been doing that with BookSmart in South Africa for a few years now. Datafree is adapted from the telecoms industry of reverse build data. So those with resources, with funding, like many people or organizations here, can pay the data cost so that you maximize reach to the communities of people you're trying to reach, because they have no data cost. And in particular, in emerging markets, Datafree works with SIM cards that have no airtime or data balance. As Deborah mentioned, many are prepaid. When they've run out of credit on a SIM card, they can't connect to anything. Well, with data-free services, they can still connect to a data-free service. There is no data cost.
Thanks, Cal. And the numbers are pretty phenomenal. Worldwide, 44% of BookSmart readers access our app with Datafree from South Africa. So since 2020, we've had over 800,000 readers benefiting from Datafree. And what's remarkable is this number. We work in over 100 countries, and despite that, 44% are coming from South Africa because of the benefit of having access to our solution by Datafree. They're not having to make those choices about how to use the data. They're able to read for free. And the number of readers is only part of the story. Not only do we want to get readers, but we want people to keep reading. We want them to keep coming back because we know that the more a family and children are reading together, the higher their chance of learning outcomes are of improving. For our global BookSmart readers, the average time spent reading is about 11 minutes, which seems short, but we're looking at children's books, so they often are short. But in South Africa, it goes up to 22 minutes. That's 50% more time reading. By simply covering the data costs in South Africa, substantially more children are reading. And through reading, those children are acquiring skills that will prepare them for healthier, happier lives.
So how does this impact the world of international development? Well, I'm sure you can appreciate many of the development programs being funded by people here and those organizations delivering them. The data cost barrier is a huge divide in emerging markets. It's really important to understand that today the digital divide challenge is not a function of infrastructure, networks, mobile devices. There are many of them out there. The barrier is actually affordability of data. It's people's ability to afford mobile data to connect with online services. When you make online services data free, that barrier is completely removed. Now people can access anytime, as frequently as they need or want to. And not only does it potentially impact the world of reading, but many other essential services. Education, health, refugee programs, you name it, can all be transformed by enabling data-free access and removing that data cost barrier. As I mentioned, we're a technology company that makes this all work. We currently operate in South Africa, but are poised to take the same model and technology to any country. And we've recently, in fact, come to understand that the need, in many respects, or there is a significant need in countries like America, USA, Australia, where I moved from, and the UK, because there are many people at the bottom of the income brackets who are challenged to afford data. So we're really excited to take this model of data free, which we've evolved over the last 5 years, to many markets going forwards. And if any of you would like to understand more about data free and how it can work, please come and see me.